Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day to start things off. Popular cryptocurrency data outlet DR reports that institutional Bitcoin trading volume has moved into growth for its fourth consecutive month. According to the report, they're hitting new highs against the US-based exchanges as a percentage of the total trading volume. Here's the chart right here for those who may not be looking at the screen or maybe driving. We hit the high of institutional interest, according to their metrics, last July 2018, hit an all-time low around November, give or take somewhere within that time frame. But since then, every single month, we have been gaining more interest from institutional investors. For those who remember or were here last summer 2018, this is the exact time frame when it shoots up right here, where we were told by many technical analyses or other people who were looking at the market, they kept on saying that July would be the time frame when the market would shoot itself back up. And I assume this is why we saw so much interest at that point right there. As seen in the chart, the current volume is now around 9% more compared to December 2018. Notably, the CBOE is the biggest loser, which doesn't come as much as a surprise. The Chicago Board's option exchange revealed in March that it will no longer offer any contracts for its cash-settled XBT Bitcoin futures product moving forward. CME Group, on the other hand, is marking gains, as Bitcoin is reported last week. CME Bitcoin futures volume soared 950% on the 4th of April compared to the beginning of the month. As of Monday, April 8th, CME saw around 16,000 Bitcoin futures contracts. So there's definitely, and I mean, it should be fairly obvious at this point, but I guess we need metrics to be able to see on a graph exactly how much interest that there actually is. It's clear that there is institutional interest in the cryptocurrency space. I think a lot of times we forget that they're there or don't really necessarily see that they're there, especially if they're usually buying over the counter or they're trading cryptocurrencies in other ways. So kind of nice to see that there is renewed growth and interest in the cryptocurrency space. Next up, EOS co-founder and CEO of Block.one, Brendan Bloomer, says Bitcoin doesn't need to scale to become the world's biggest store of value. At the DC Blockchain Summit, Bloomer said, although Bitcoin is revolutionary, it's also slow and expensive with huge scaling limitations. He says if you look at the first blockchain, let's say Bitcoin, right, it's fundamentally transformative in how we will do everything going forward. But actually, a transfer takes an hour. It's expensive. If you look at the dilution we pay through new inflation on its annual basis, you're talking $50 to $100 per transaction, and it can only process about 3 transactions per second for every person on the network. So huge scaling limitations. Another little side note before I continue on. It was very interesting here about the amount of money paid per transaction. A lot of people believe, and this is just the mindset, I guess you could call them what Charlie Lee says as Bitcoin extremists, people who think that Bitcoin will become the only cryptocurrency or become the main payment method in the entire world, what have you. A lot of people think that on the main chain, people will actually eventually have to pay $300, $400, $500, $600, $700, $800, $900 per transaction to be able to send money back and forth. That is not including the Lightning Network, but it's believed that people wanting to send very large payments, let's say $20, $30, $40, $50 million to the Bitcoin blockchain, will then be okay with paying $900 per transaction because they'll know that their transaction is safe on the blockchain, and therefore they'll be willing to pay that $900 fee to be able to send the money. This is just from stuff that I've read. I just thought I'd throw that in there because I try to understand often exactly what people who are Bitcoin maximalists or people who believe that Bitcoin is going to become the only chain eventually sometime in the future. I try to understand what they mean when they say all this stuff, and that's kind of what it comes down to. When he was called out for spreading fear, uncertainty, and doubt about Bitcoin, Bloomer responded by saying he still believes the leading cryptocurrency will become the world's biggest store of value without any technological upgrades. Here's him talking on the stage right here. He says, I love Bitcoin too, but that won't make it fast or cheap. Bitcoin has everything it needs to succeed, and I think in time it will become the largest store of value in the world. EOS isn't designed to compete with Bitcoin. It's optimized for different use cases. Gold's estimated market cap currently stands at around $8 trillion US dollars. And if Bitcoin were to one day reach the same heights, each Bitcoin will be worth around 380,000 US dollars. He said over the next 2 decades, Bitcoin will replace gold as the leading commodity to store value. A lot of people actually think it's going to be a lot quicker than 2 decades. A lot of people are touting depending on how extreme you kind of want to get. People are saying it's going to happen within the next 2 years. That's a bit soon. I would say a good 10 to 15 years. I don't know if it's going to take a full 20. I think eventually Bitcoin will eventually hit a tipping point, and I think that'll be when its price goes over 100,000. That's when Bitcoin will be this new shining golden armor type thing that everyone has to kind of put their money into, at least in my opinion. Next up, so Coinbase, and I is really weird. I mentioned this last week and the week before, and this is, I guess, the 5.0 from what we were talking about before, especially after we had news from a couple weeks ago that Andreas Antonopoulos had noted and said out loud that Coinbase was a bank. And the quicker we come to realize that, the quicker we understand exactly where the cryptocurrency space is going. And then I said I wouldn't be surprised if sometime in the future Coinbase ended up launching their own card, because I said the problem that we have right now, or not the problem, whatever, is that what I thought the next step would be is that we would either have banks announcing that they were going to be launching their own cards that you could use your cryptocurrencies with, or we would start having pretty much Coinbase coming out and announcing that you'd be able to use your cryptocurrencies through a card that they were issuing. And lo and behold, cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase has launched a Visa debit card, allowing customers in the United Kingdom and the European Union to spend their cryptocurrencies directly from their Coinbase accounts. The San Francisco-based firm announced the news in a blog post on Wednesday, saying that with the Coinbase card, customers will be able to spend their Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, and other cryptocurrencies as effortlessly as the money in their bank, because Coinbase is also a bank. The exchange said it will instantly convert cryptocurrency to fiat currency, such as the British pound, when customers complete a transaction using the debit card. I assume because the bank that is doing the actual transaction through the Visa card is probably not going to be accepting the cryptocurrency, so it has to be transferred back into the local currency of choice after the transaction is done. The card also supports all crypto assets available to buy and sell on Coinbase, and customers can use them to pay for everyday purchases such as meals or booking tickets, according to the announcement. With previously available products of this type, customers have to preload. Oh, yeah, okay, here we go. Customers had to preload a specific amount of cryptocurrency onto the card in order to spend it. The exchange has also launched a card for the app for the card on both Android and iOS, enabling customers to select which cryptocurrency wallet they will use to fund their spending. The app also offers instant receipts, transaction summaries, and spending categories. The first 1,000 people who do this, Coinbase says they will not charge you the £5 fee for being able to do this. I mean, it's all lining up. To be fair, this does make a lot of sense to be able to simply use your cryptocurrency directly from your cryptocurrency account. This is where it is all leading to. I think Coinbase is trying to get the jump on other banks who are also going to be offering this sometime in the future, because you have to understand, or rather, I'll put it to you this way. From what I've seen about Coinbase and how much money they have backing them and how much money is actually in their platform and the billionaires who are backing them, it is probably clear, or at least to me, it seems that eventually at some point, banks are also going to be offering crypto custody. They're also going to be offering you a debit card that you can take money out from your cryptocurrency account with. And I assume that Coinbase, being already a cryptocurrency exchange, found it a bit easier and quicker to be able to do this. What's interesting to note here is that typically it has not been the easiest thing in the entire world to have any type of crypto partnership with Visa or MasterCard or any other type of debit credit card type thing. We've had a couple of them before in the past. That is true. But it's usually not as easy to actually gain these partnerships. So I assume this has been a long time in the making. I don't know when this is going to hit the United States. You see, it only says the UK and EU right here. I think that is definitely on purpose. I think there's going to be a bit of a wait because of all the SEC, CFTC, IRS stuff. There's also, I was reading something like 2 or 3 days ago, and people were like, the IRS has given no clarification on exactly how to put cryptocurrencies on your tax filings. Kind of is what it is. I mean, yeah. Well, the point is, Coinbase is definitely a bank now, and yeah, we'll see exactly how this ends up forming. And if I have a feeling they'll probably try to launch this somewhere in Asia relatively soon. I don't think Coinbase has a big presence in South America or Africa. Yeah, let's move on. Next up, BitFinix has removed its $10,000 minimum equity requirement to start trading on the cryptocurrency exchange, enabling a broader range of investors to participate. The company, based in the British Virgin Islands, cited overwhelming demand for a wide variety of traders for the change. They said we simply could not ignore the increasing level of requests for access to trade on BitFinix from a wider cohort than our traditional customer base. This was said by Jean-Louis van der Velde, CEO at Finex. They all sound the same to me. Wrote Tuesday on the company's blog. He said, for the last 6 months, we've been working hard to ready our platform for a new wave of customer accounts and are now ready in a position to open BitFinix to a wider audience by dropping our minimum equity requirement. The only limits are now set by the, traders themselves. I feel like what actually happened was they probably weren't getting a lot of people using their platform. Once again, this is just how I feel. Whenever someone uses phrasing like this, we simply could not ignore the increasing level of requests. It pretty much means people were like, hey, we also kind of want to use your platform. We are not using it now because of your $10,000 minimum requirement to start trading cryptocurrency. So I assume at some point when they realized only a couple hundred people were trading $10,000 back and forth, they probably were like, maybe if we opened up the floodgates, maybe we can get more money in. And then lo and behold, they did it, and now they're probably going to get more money into their platform. So if this interests you, if you are bothered by the BitFinix minimum $10,000 equity requirement to start trading, that's gone now. So you can trade in peace knowing that even your money's now good on their platform. Yeah. Next up, TRON is in the news. That's really creepy, like all of them staring down. A report released on the 9th of April by DApp, Decentralized Application Analytics website, DApp.com. They revealed that TRON has the fastest growing DApp user base, while Ethereum's DApp user base is shrinking. On the Ethereum chain, there was a 4% decrease in the number of DApp users compared to last year. About 72,000 old users are still using Ethereum-based dApps in 2019. Decentralized exchanges, or DEXs, are responsible for more than half of the Ether dApp trading volume, followed by gambling apps, which are huge right now. Also, gamers were reportedly the most active Ethereum dApp users, with over 40% of the daily active dApp users being gamers, up 10% in quarter one. They said the Ethereum-based games have already created a stable community with a group of a loyal audience. Per the report, in quarter one 2019, 504 dApps were added to the DApp.com list, of which more than half were Ethereum-based. They said it shows that Ethereum is still the number one choice for developers to build their dApp on. At the same time, we also have a trend in multi-chain developing. As many Ethereum dApps expand on multiple chains, such as EOS and Ethereum, or Ethereum and TRON, the number of active dApp users on the TRON blockchain reportedly amounted to over 300,000, while on EOS it was around 260,000. Also, by the end of quarter one 2019, the number of TRON wallets reportedly exceeded 2.3 million, and about 15.46% of them interacted with dApps. The main driver of the growth in the number of dApp TRON users was reportedly gambling apps. About 85% of TRON's dApps users interacted with the apps in quarter one, which means that this is the most active chain among the 4 blockchains. Not to say that I'm not surprised. TRON is also known as a gaming platform, so I would assume more people would be using them as a gambling, trading, video game platform than other platforms that we have out there. But I'm pretty sure that makes a lot of people who are into TRON quite happy. I had assumed many moons ago that TRON would not make it. Just my own personal thing. I think that TRON is definitely going to make it. That doesn't mean I am in love with it. However, I think they will, if Justin Sun can continue the momentum until we have a bull market, I think, this is what I think he's doing as well. Kind of funny, my opinion. I think he's trying to continue this like cycle of hype on the actual project so that when we do actually have a bull run, we reach all new time highs, more people get into the platform, and then he doesn't have to kind of work as hard. I don't know, just my personal opinion. Anyway, TRON is very popular. We should have all known this. It is a gaming platform, and I'm just waiting. I'm personally waiting for like the kind of the aha moment for TRON. Like, you know how like we have a whole bunch of stuff being built on top of EOS, and we have the other video games and so and so and so. I'm waiting for like one really big developer to be like, hey, we're gonna build on top of that, and I think that'll kind of be the driving force for TRON continuing strongly in the future. To kind of finish things up, The head of the United States regulator in the Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC, reiterated its focus on the cryptocurrency space in a new speech on the 8th of April. Speaking at the SEC Speaks conference in Washington, Chairman Jay Clayton highlighted the digital currency space while giving a broad overview of the organization's activities and roles. Clayton chose to touch primarily, or principally, on instances where existing laws had been used to deal with non-compliance from crypto entities. He said, "In the digital asset space, the Division of the Enforcement has brought cases that demonstrate that there is a path to compliance with the federal securities laws going forward, even where issuers have conducted an illegal unregistered offering of digital asset securities." He said, "The path includes appropriate disclosures to investors so that they can make a more informed decision as to whether to seek reimbursement or to continue to hold their tokens." Clayton, meanwhile, also drew further attention to cryptocurrency appearances in the SEC's in-house examination priorities for 2019, compiled in December by its Office of Compliance, Inspections, and Examinations. The comments underscore a persisting commitment to crypto and its impact on areas such as securities regulations, the U.S. taking slow but comprehensive steps to formalize their status at the national level. Last week, the SEC released guidance on determining whether digital assets constitute investment contracts. The same day, April 3rd, the agency also concluded a new initial coin offering token from startup Turnkey was not a security. So this is now the press release statement from the SEC when we had one before from the CFTC. I think the CFTC was last week, where they announced that they are still committed to the cryptocurrency space, or rather they are committed to giving proper instructions on regulations within the cryptocurrency space within the United States. As of now, we still don't have comprehensive or direct rulings or laws for anything. I do not think we are ever going to get them at this point, or maybe we will get them in around 2 years, give or take. But it's nice to know, I don't know if you can hear the sarcasm in my voice, that they are diligently working towards helping the cryptocurrency space, something that they said they would do 2 years ago, and we still don't have proper clarification. But yeah, it's nice to hear that they're still talking about us in their meetings. I think that is definitely going to do it for this video. Bitcoin is trying its darndest not to slip below 5,000. When I checked it before, it was $5,004. Now it's, here we go, 5,013. I would assume that 5,000 is probably a level that one would want to hold as a just in case. But the rest of the market right now, since Bitcoin has been going down, has also been going down. Oh, wait. No, never mind. Sorry, I'm an idiot. I was looking, and for some reason, I thought that EOS was above XRP, and I was like, oh, XRP is number 3 again, but it was always number 3. Anyway, yeah, a lot of coins have slipped. Ethereum didn't make it to that coveted $200 position. Neither did Litecoin make it to the $100 position. A lot of people believe, or so they say, that this is just a bit of a cool-off, and that apparently in the relatively near future, we could have a situation where we reach those highs, or rather the $100 and $200 space in the near future. Alrighty, everyone, that is definitely going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, great afternoon, or great evening, wherever you are, wherever in this world you might be. I hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and listening. I do appreciate all of your support. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. They are Professor Wally from Gunbot University, SC Verzely Fine Art, Brady Niels, L. Doug, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, Shaolin Fried Rice, Gil, Boa Snake, Crypto Joe, Carl Birchenoff, singer-songwriter Mike Savitz, Rai Rai, Yasha Harari, Amy Starsheen, Jeffrey Ramsey, Crypnotic, Crypto Artist Coldy, 3D, Nicholas, One Earth, One Piece, One Love, Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Rich, The Third, RF, Dusty, Cody, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Jeremy Fox, Jim Gardner, Minting Coins, Arthur Yaku, Nick Mangelavori, and Anthony Charles. Thank you all an incredible amount for your generosity. I do appreciate it. And yeah, I'll talk to you all soon. See you.